Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. I am filling in for Judy Mahan today. My name is Kristen Neal. I'm one of the lead consultants at the SBDC, and Judy's away enjoying a little R&R. So we are excited to have Digital Market Media presenting today.
Hello, hello. It's nice to meet you, Kristen.
Great to meet you too, Jen. Just a quick public service announcement on the SBDC. We are an organization here on the Central Coast that helps small businesses thrive. We offer a myriad of services across all cornerstones of business, and they're completely complimentary. And to join, you can go to sbdc.calpoly.edu. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, the Small Business Administration, as well as the California Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jamal Al-Haj, and I'm a partner with Maynard Cooper & Gale in the firm's San Francisco office. Maynard Cooper is a full-service law firm of national reach with over 300 lawyers across 11 offices coast to coast. Our San Francisco practice focuses on advising emerging growth companies and venture capital firms, including with respect to equity management, financings, employment, and intellectual property matters. We are extremely proud to be a Founders Circle sponsor amongst an extraordinary circle of other dedicated philanthropists who recognize the immense value that Cal Poly's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship bring to the SLO community. We hope that each of you enjoys this upcoming training and workshop and are able to incorporate the knowledge and know-how that will be presented shortly to further help grow, develop, and accelerate your businesses.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. So let's welcome Jenn Rollins. Jenn is the Director of People and Culture at Digital Marketing Media. Digital Marketing Media is a firm that's transforming customer acquisition. They experienced tremendous growth during the pandemic and expanded their team from 71 employees to over 200. And Jenn's here today to discuss how they are successfully cultivating a complete remote world-class culture. Welcome, Jenn. We're really happy to have you.
Awesome, Kristen. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Well, I'm really excited to come and talk about culture. As anybody who works with me knows, I can sit and wax on about our amazing culture all day long. So I tried to distill my many, many thoughts on culture into a presentation, which I will go ahead and share now. And just want to give a shout out to the SBDC. You know, I know it's such a great resource for small businesses who, of course, were, impacted by the pandemic. So it's such a great resource for small business owners to have.
Oh, thanks, Jenn. And I do want to encourage our audience. This is supposed to be a conversation with coffee. So as Jenn is presenting along the way, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat, and we'll help facilitate those to Jenn.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hopefully, Kristen, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, thumbs up. Awesome. Well, again, we are Digital Market Media, and I am so excited to share with you today a journey that we have been on for a few years now to building a world-class culture. So again, my name is Jenn Rollins, and I am the Director of People and Culture for DMM. All right. So just to share a little bit more about Digital Market Media. So at Digital Market Media, really our mission is to be an engine of opportunity for our team members and to empower them to deliver the best possible experience to our clients and business partners. And so, when we talk about culture, like how unique is that instead of, focusing on shareholders or clients first, we really, really focus on our people. And that's very intentional because we know if we take care of our people are going to take care of our clients, which I think is, one of the very unique things about DMM. And it really is kind of a cornerstone of our culture, which is fantastic. So, and then by providing the highest quality leads at the lowest possible acquisition cost and focusing on exceptional service, we've earned a really great reputation as the most trusted provider of inbound calls and leads for insurance, financial services, and other industries. So that's just a little bit more about our company and what we do. All right. So, this journey to world class really started with a vision. And that vision was a vision that Tom Carolyn and Don Carolyn, the owners of the company, had. And that was to do this. And sorry if you can't see my screen. Let me kind of move this over here, maybe. So they wanted to do two things, which seem simple on paper, which is to build a world-class culture and create the best work from home opportunity in America. And I always like to share that, when I was on my first consult call with Tom, and he's telling me, he's like, I want to build a world-class culture. I want it to be like Zappos, excuse me, or Google, and I want to be the best work from home opportunity in America. I'm not going to lie. My thought was, oh, is that all? Like, that's all you want to build, huh? Like,
That's
sure.
that's a good story. That's
Yeah.
easy to do.
And I'm like, but like the more I spoke to Tom, I'm like, okay, like he's got the right idea, he's really focused on his people. And so it was like, all right, I'm really excited. Let's do this. Let's try to build this world-class culture that you're talking about and create the best work from a home opportunity in America. And so, we both jumped in with both feet and eyes wide open and started down the path of creating that world-class culture. So let's talk about some of the steps that we took to help build the world-class culture that we have today. All right, so I'm going to minimize this because it keeps getting in my way. So really, there were some key steps that we took as an organization. And one of the first things that we did as we were setting out on this journey is we created a set of core values, which we'll go into further. But really, the idea behind the values is that we wanted to create values that inspired our people, united us in purpose, and built a sense of belonging and connection, so that even though we're all across the country, different areas, different backgrounds, things like that, we were united in a sense of purpose. And of course, you can't have culture without people. It's pretty hard to do. And so, we set out to hire and develop a really diverse group of talented people who share our values. Shared values is very, very important. And once you get those people on board, how do you keep them motivated, pointed in the same direction towards the same goal? And really what we found was empowering them. So empowering our leaders and team members to pursue their goals. When you're employed with a company, it's not just about a paycheck, or it shouldn't be. If it is, maybe you need to look for a different place to work. It really is about, pursuing your goals, whether that's personal goals, of, being a homeowner, or, career goals that you have. Your company that you're working for should help you pursue those goals. And so we really, focus on empowering our team. Of course, connection is really important and is one of those unique challenges of being a remote workplace. I'm sure many of you that had to shift to remote during the pandemic experienced this. How do you keep, that individuals pointed in the same direction and focused and connected throughout the workday? And of course, we like to have fun as well. So we have some unique ways of doing that. And then invest. We are constantly at Digital Market Media innovating ways to invest in our team members. So again, it goes back to that empowerment and investment in our team, in our people, who then are empowered and have the support and training necessary to go out and deliver the best possible service to our customers. So before I move on, Kristen, is there any questions?
Yeah, somebody was asking, you just said your unique ways of having fun. What is, could you give an example of that? Could just being in the remote environment.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have at Digital Market Media, we actually have a fun committee. One of the things that I shared with the leadership team right when I first started is there is nothing worse than HR, this gal right here, telling you how to have fun. Like, it just doesn't tend to resonate with people. So what we did was we actually created a fun committee that is employee led, and employees come up with ideas on what they want to do to have fun throughout the workday. So a specific example, and this comes from one of our leaders, Alicia, we do what's called hunts on Slack. And so we'll post like a GIF or a meme in various Slack channels, and the first person to respond with the name that you're supposed to respond with. So we recently did one for 4th of July. We did fireworks GIFs, and the first person to respond with boom got a point. And the person with the most points at the end of the competition won a prize. So that's an example of fun.
That's very creative. I like it. Very creative.
Yeah.
A new way to use Slack.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, we are master users of Slack for sure.
I bet.
Awesome. All right. So, when you talk about values, it's like, well, why did you start with values? Almost all companies have core values. And what's the tie between values and culture? And I thought this quote here really encapsulates, my view on the importance of core values as sort of the cornerstone of a company culture. So values determine culture, culture determines behavior, behavior determines outcomes. And I really felt like that quote just fully encapsulated my thoughts. The one thing I will say to any business owner is, a lot of companies create a mission statement and values as part of, the exercise of, just sort of building your materials and kind of your identity, but if you don't find ways to incorporate your values into what you do on a daily basis, it tends to fall a little bit flat. We've all worked for places where it's like, yeah, there's values on the wall. They're pretty words, but they're not actually like lived and practiced on a daily basis. And that's one of the things that I think we do very, very well at Digital Market Media is we actually live our values, and that is systemic throughout the organization, which I think has really helped us cultivate that world-class culture that we're talking about. So our values at Digital Market Media, we have our first value, first and foremost, is enjoy your life and your time. One of the things that Dawn and Tom set out to create is they wanted to create a very strong opportunity for work-life balance. And that doesn't mean that we don't work hard. We are growing very, very rapidly. And so it's a lot of work, but we wanted to create an opportunity for people to eliminate some of the things that, create hardship, long commutes, issues with childcare, things like that, that really detract from enjoyment of life. We wanted to help eliminate some of that. And so enjoy your life and your time is our first value. We know that time is a non-renewable resource. And so we really set out to create that flexibility and that opportunity for all of our employees to enjoy their life and their time.
Jenn, I have a question coming in on that. I know one of the things that we're starting to see in the workforce is kind of unlimited vacation and unlimited sick time, right? You work hard and then you get rewarded. Have you guys adopted that that methodology yet?
We have not. So we do not have unlimited sick or vacation time. Financially, we're not at a place to be able to provide
Makes
that.
sense.
Yeah. So we do not have that. And I will tell you, like, while it's a really great perk, a lot of companies that provide those benefits don't necessarily provide the opportunity to use those benefits.
Ah,
And I know that sounds, sort of judgy of me to say, but it's true. I think it's one of those things that on paper sounds really good and like an easy win, right? You just have the financial cost of it. But if you don't create the opportunity for people to take time off, it doesn't matter how much time off you give.
right. Thank you for that perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Pursue learning, opportunity, and growth at every turn. We are definitely what I would call a learning culture. So people are constant, all of us, like we are constantly learning and growing. You cannot grow as an organization if you are stuck in a single mindset. You have to be very, very nimble and adaptable. And having this culture of learning has allowed us to have that. Approach everything you do with integrity. If you don't have integrity, you are going to have problems as an organization. And, especially in the verticals that we, service, so life insurance, Medicare, things like that, where you're dealing with people's, financial information and financial future. We have to know that the people that we hire and the people that we retain have a strong moral compass and sense of integrity.
We just had a comment come in. Sorry, Jen, but I
Yeah.
wanted to just read this from one of the audience members saying, yes, in my experience, unlimited sick and vacation discourage good employees from using them. I've certainly taken less when the company provided unlimited vacation and I didn't have accrued time off to use. Interesting perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that comment. I definitely see that as well. Awesome. All right. So success is shared, recognized, and rewarded. We love, love celebrating people's successes, whether it's personal successes outside of the workplace or professional successes. Every company meeting that we have, we are constantly recognizing people for their success and, really rewarding them and just celebrating with them. And then our last core value is dare to be different. So, it's really, really easy to go out and hire a bunch of people and bring them into an organization and then sort of fit them into their peg, like pegs into a pegboard, and stifle, individuality and creativity. And that is something that we have tried very, very hard to really allow people to come and be their unique and authentic and individual selves. And so dare to be different. It's really, we live that value. And it seems so simple, but it really goes to the heart of diversity and inclusion. You can hire a ethnically, or gender, diverse group of people, but if you don't allow those people to come and be who they are and share their unique ideas and perspectives, your inclusion programs are going to fall a little bit short. And so that gets to that dare to be different value. All right. Any questions before I move on?
I think we'll let you go on to the next one.
Okay, awesome. All right. So then people, obviously people, hugely important to the equation. And, there's some things that I think that we do that are somewhat unique in digital market media. So obviously the first step in the people equation is attracting people. And I know as business owners out there, we share your pain. Attracting people during the pandemic was incredibly hard. I've always said that recruiting is kind of my least favorite part of HR, and boy howdy, during the during the pandemic, it was a very, very, hard challenge for us, like many organizations. But I think one of the things that kind of set us apart in the remote workspace, because of course a lot of companies had to shift to remote during the pandemic, is that we were built to support remote teams from the start. So while we still face the challenge, there was a pretty shallow talent pool there for a while. We had that challenge just like everybody else. We at least had the systems in place to support remote teams and really promote the remote opportunity, and that we're kind of experts in remote work, which I think definitely helped us in attracting quality talent. And then, of course, you interview and you evaluate. And so, one of the unique aspects of our hiring process at DMM is we actually interview not just based on skills and abilities alone. We really look past the resume, and try to hire people that share our values and are a great culture fit for our organization. And again, that doesn't mean they think the same way that we do. We want a diverse group of people with varying thoughts and perspectives, but we want people that resonate with those values. We look for people who are looking for work-life balance, who want to learn and grow, who have a high moral compass and sense of integrity. And we actually interview to that. And I think that has helped us attract some really, really great and wonderful people. And then, of course, once you get people on board, you need to inspire them. So one of the unique aspects of our culture is that we are very inward looking when it comes to talent. And what that means is anytime that we have an opening for a leadership position or a specialty position within our organization, we look inward first. We don't go out to the very shallow job pool and say, hey, let's go find somebody, outside that fits the bill. Let's look inside first and see if we have somebody that either has the skills and abilities that is already on our team, or even just has the passion for this particular area. And let's invest in them and train and develop them. So again, that's a very unique part of our culture. And then include. On a deep level, as people, we all want to feel included and understood. It's just part of the human experience. And so, we've really done an incredible job of, building a culture that really celebrates the different backgrounds and perspectives that our team members bring to the table. And I think that has really helped us foster that world-class culture that we're talking about.
Jen, I have a question coming on. If you could share any of your secret sauce for onboarding in the remote world, right? It's not like everybody goes out to lunch on the person's first day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We definitely, so there's kind of twofold there. Technology is super important. Early on, we tapped into an HR and payroll system, Paylocity, that allowed us to really maximize the technology aspect, and the onboarding process through Paylocity is very, very user-friendly, both as an admin user as well as the end user, so the candidate. And then the other part of that is we have a very, very extensive training program, very well thought out. So, when we hire somebody, we send out an offer letter. They're immediately sent, a letter from our training team that outlines their first day. Because, how awkward is it when you don't know where to show up, what time to show up, who you're going to be talking to. And like, let's face it, we've all been there, right? We've all showed up our first day and we're like, we don't know where the bathroom is, things like that. And so, and it's the same in remote, obviously the bathroom, you know where that is because it's in your home, but like, who am I talking to? Where am I supposed to be? What number am I supposed to dial in at? And things like that. So we have a very good system for communicating with candidates, setting that expectation. And then, that first week of training, everything is very, very well thought out. So we have a training team that brings them on board, really welcomes them, and again, we really, really focus on the culture, and really, really like trying to get them sort of engrossed in the culture right up front, as well as learning, the skills and the knowledge that they need to do their jobs.
Great. Thanks for answering that one.
Yes, definitely unique. Definitely strongly suggest utilizing great technology. There's so much out there, which is great. So just, find a system that works. If you're finding that you're having issues with retention of employees, or, maybe your onboarding process isn't as streamlined as you feel like it could be, definitely ask for feedback from your new hires. They're the ones that have been through it most recently. And I think you'll find that you'll get some good feedback from them as well.
It's a good perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So empowerment, again, we want to be the engine of opportunity for all of our team members. And so some ways that we do that is we encourage team members to evaluate and pursue their career goals. We have many, many team members who started out at the ground level as call center agents, and who are now managers and directors within our organization. And so we are constantly encouraging people to share their goals, and we do what we can to help them pursue those goals. Build career paths and training for people to grow in their career. Almost all of our careers within digital market media, there are set career paths. So if you're not looking to, sort of get outside of that career path and go into management, even within, sales in the call center, there are career paths so that you can progress within your career, which of course helps us with retention. And then empower leaders through clear goals and KPIs. So we are a very, being a marketing organization, we're very performance driven. And so we, as leaders, each have KPIs. We're held to those KPIs, but it really helps, when you know where you're going as a leader, you kind of know how to build your path. And, it helps us empower people because we set the goal. So, and the expectations, and then we give them the autonomy to go out and take the necessary steps to achieve those goals.
I'm getting a question, Jenn. I think you answered this a little bit earlier, but how you do your training, like professional development, remotely.
Yeah, so we have professional, like our career paths, like I said, and then we also have like a learning and development, leadership and development program. And so that is all facilitated by our training team, and we utilize Zoom. And so we, have training classes on Zoom. We also have technology that's integrated through the Paylocity system that allows us to facilitate the training programs as well.
Great, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. So let's talk about connection. Again, I can tell based on the questions that I'm getting, you guys probably share that sort of, how do you connect people in a remote way? I think it's one of the most challenging parts of remote work. We're very sort of tribal people, and so we're very used to being connected on a very, face-to-face level. And so how do you take that concept of connection and translate that to a remote work setting? So I will talk a little bit about how we did that. So again, technology, I know it sounds silly, but technology is key. I mean, Zoom, talk about business growth. Zoom and Slack both grew incredibly well during the pandemic, as pretty much the whole world turned to them for that connection piece. And if you haven't checked out Slack or Zoom as an organization, strongly encourage you to do that. There's other platforms as well. I know a lot of companies use Microsoft Teams. I've not personally used that, but know people who have. That's another great tool. So, if you're currently in a remote work setting, or, looking to stay in remote setting or hybrid setting, strongly recommend that you look at your technology. And we have done a great job of that and really establishing, great connection points. Slack allows for instant messaging. It's what we use to play, our fun games and contests, share GIFs or GIFs. I don't know what they're called, but I've heard them called memes, all of that stuff. And so it's those little things that can really help keep a team connected. And then we also, every other week, we have our all company meeting where all of our team members come together for an hour to share, celebrate successes, have fun. And one of the funnest things that every single team member looks forward to is what we call the Wheel of Fun. And it's a fun game that we play that's sort of based on, Wheel of Fortune, and team members are selected from the wheel and can win fun prizes from the wheel. We've had, people win, I think the rubber chicken that somebody won was like one of the most popular gifts. And we also have cash prizes as well. So it's just one of those things. It came from the fun committee, and, it is something that every other week, everybody looks forward to. And it's just such a great way to have fun and connect. And then, simple things. We have focus groups. We have weekly huddles with teams to keep everybody connected, pointed in the same direction. And then, those are great. The one thing I will say in a remote work setting that I think people can kind of fall into the trap of is, one of the things that a physical office provides is, let's say I need to go talk to my payroll person about a payroll question. What do? I just get up, I walk down the hall, and I say, hey, Susan, I have a question about my payroll. And remote setting, you obviously can't do that. And so I think a lot of times people, then don't get their questions answered. They don't know who to reach out to, and things like that. And so again, encouraging, like, I have what I call a 3 Slack rule. So if I get a message, there's a thread going and there's 3 questions, or a situation isn't resolved after 3 Slack messages, pick up the phone. Okay. At that point, technology is, the instant messaging is failing you. So just pick up the phone. I mean, like,
old
hey,
school.
Susan. Yeah. Rather than spending 30 minutes instant messaging back and forth, why don't we just talk on the phone and maybe we can resolve this easier?
That's great.
So again, yeah, it's just finding those ways. Susan may not be down the hall from you, but she's probably just a phone call away, whether through Zoom or Slack or just on your cell phone. So just pick up the phone and give Susan a call.
Right.
Yes.
So one of the questions coming in on this slide is, does digital market media have plans for teams to physically get together from time to time? Or will it always be literally 100% remote?
Yeah, so we do have plans, for like the leadership team to get together at some point when it is safe to do so. I do think that there is a value, even if your plans are to come together and, have dinner and go to a show together or something.
Break some bread together.
Yeah, exactly. Doing that, whether it's, once a year or twice a year or at a conference you all go to, I do think is very important. And I know we're all looking forward to that now that, we're sort of coming out the back end of the pandemic.
Yep. Yep. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I'm very much looking forward. I have not met any of our team in person, and I'm very much looking forward to going and sharing a glass of wine with all of them and seeing them face to face, not through a camera.
Right. Right. I think that's one of the things that's so interesting when you work with people over Zoom for so long and then you meet face to face. You always have like, oh, I thought you were going to be taller or short. Like there's your
I
digital
know,
presence and then there's your physical presence, which can be, very different.
right? Yeah, it's really funny. So my husband is very short, and so it is like one of my favorite things to see people react when they see him physically in person for the first time. And they're like, whoa, because you can't tell. And like, I'm very tall. And so people meet me, I'm almost 6 feet tall, and they're like, oh, wow, you're a lot taller than I was expecting. So, yeah, it's always fun to actually get that physical connection.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Yes. All right. So then let's talk about how you can invest in your team. So again, as I've talked about before, investing isn't just unlimited paid time off. It isn't just, that super slick benefits package. It's also things like training and development. Because again, tying it back to our core values, that allows our employees to pursue learning, growth, and opportunity at every turn. So we have great training and development programs. We're constantly improving upon those and expanding upon those. We of course have paid time off, not unlimited, but I'm trying to think of a situation in which an employee couldn't take time off when they needed it. I mean, a classic example, I'm in the middle of a move, I'm doing this and then I'm out the rest of the week and it's no problem, which is great. So paid time off is definitely a way that we invest. We have a 401k with a company match. We definitely want to, financially invest in our people, which is great. And then, as I shared before, we have fun contests and prizes. The fun contests and prizes, I don't know, and this has been in every organization that I've been in, both as an employee, so a non-HR professional, as well as HR professionals. It is very simple little things that get employees jazzed, like, a t-shirt, like a mug with the company name on it. I think people seriously undervalue like how fun and like unique and special that is to the employee. You really just feel so included. And so, we try to do fun contests and prizes like that just to keep the fun high, and keep spirits high and keep them engaged. And again, during the pandemic, that was, I think, really a relief for a lot of people. We couldn't control what was going on in the world and, things like that. But to create an opportunity to come to an environment where you can put all that garbage aside for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and just win a stupid rubber chicken. you know?
That rubber chicken's quite popular, I can
The
tell.
rubber chicken, I tell you what, yeah, rubber chicken is definitely one of our favorite prizes. So it really does. And if you can create an environment where people can come, have fun, things like that, it sounds silly, but it really does, it really creates more productive employees and happy employees. So yeah, let's talk about the results of all this fun and exciting things that we've been doing, because it can be easy to say, well, okay, we want to focus on that, but we're still a business. We have to do what we can to generate revenue. And what we've found, is that in creating the culture that we've created, we have a highly engaged team. And so, we all know as business leaders how challenging it is to attract talent and to retain that talent. So anything that you can do to create engagement and that stickiness, that's what you need to do. And that's what our culture has provided. I have had many conversations with people. We all know that employees talk with their feet. If they are unhappy, what is the first thing they do? They put in their notice and they leave. And I'm not saying that we don't have turnover. We absolutely have turnover. We're in a high turnover business, but we've been able to keep our turnover below industry norms. And we've had many occasions where, a team member will come to me or another leader and just, instead of just leaving, express, hey, I'm frustrated with this. Hey, I'm not happy with the way this is going. Instead of just leaving, they've given us that opportunity to maybe fix a problem that we didn't even know we had. And so that engagement piece is so important, and that's been a great result of our culture. Increased productivity. Guys, gals, happy people are productive people. It's just the way it goes. So if you can create a happy workforce, they're going to be more productive. If you can create an empowered workforce, a workforce that feels included and that sense of belonging, they're going to be more productive, which is going to, of course, then result in better business results. Growth, we are growing rapidly. We've grown both our employee base, which is just, continuing to skyrocket. But we've grown as an organization as well. And actually in 2021, we made the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies list.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we are super. We had a big old celebration about that.
Rubber chickens for everybody.
Yes, exactly. And then recognition. So we're definitely being recognized both, amongst other businesses, as well as people looking to join our organization. If you have not done so already, I would highly encourage you to go out and look at our Glassdoor reviews and check out our website. And I will just tell you, because I've actually been questioned about this before, like, we do not pay our employees to say the things that they say on Glassdoor. I promise you, this is from their hearts and completely genuine. But it's almost hard to believe because our Glassdoor reviews are so phenomenal. And for those of you out there that don't necessarily think that people look at that when they're looking to join an organization, they do. And that is where people go to sort of snipe out and learn more about an organization. And so, really managing those Glassdoor reviews, doing obviously what you can to create an environment where people are encouraged and want to leave good reviews. And then, not only that, but when you have bad reviews, because guys, they're going to happen, responding in a very professional and, very genuine way can go a long ways when you do have those sort of negative reviews. And then all of this, so what does all of this allow? Well, this allows us to further invest in our team. We're able to, expand our benefits offerings. This year we were able to, in the midst of the pandemic, be able to offer a 401k plan. We're in the process of looking at group health plans to offer our employees. Group health continues for fully remote employees to be a little bit elusive, and we want to be able to provide that opportunity for people. So, yeah. So that is the results of our hard work on our people and culture at DMM. All right. So if you want to learn more, again, I would strongly encourage you to go out and look at our Glassdoor reviews. Just take a look at what our employees are saying about digital market media. You can always email me if you have any questions. And then, of course, I would encourage you to visit our website as well. We have a brand new website. It is gorgeous. And we're all so proud of it.
I was on it this morning. I was like, wow, it's changed. It's very beautiful.
Yes. We're very proud of it, and we think it's a great showcase for our amazing organization. All right, Kristen. Well,
thanks, Jen.
You.
We have one more question, if you don't mind, and it's a little bit of a whopper.
Okay, well, I'll do my best.
But how do you, in managing remote employees in different states? because there's different, are you dealing with different state laws? How do you guys, or is it not an issue?
Oh no, it's an issue. So yeah, and it's an issue. It's definitely a headache if you're in HR. So when we started out, we targeted very specific states that had laws that were in alignment with what we could handle as an organization. There are some states that are a little bit more stringent, that is going to make it a little bit harder for you as an employer to make sure that you're compliant with various state laws. So we started, I wouldn't say small, but we targeted, I would say 5 key states. And now we're to the point where we have the support staff in place. We have, employment attorneys and, in-house legal kind of experts that can help guide us as we begin to expand into other states. As far as like practical resources, the Society for Human Resource Management has some great resources out there for multi-state employers, as well as, nothing can sort of replace a great employment attorney, that can help guide you on specific laws in the various states that you employ team members.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for sharing that. I know that's several questions have come across on that theme. Well, Jenn, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. That was a great presentation. The success of digital market media is to be applauded, and we look forward to watching the organization grow. And
awesome.
Now we're all going to want a rubber chicken too.
Absolutely. If you learn nothing else, go out, buy some rubber chickens. Maybe not throw them at your employees, but give them to your employees. And all right. Well, thanks so much, Kristen. Thank you for everybody that joined, and have a great day.
Great. Good luck with the move too.
Thank you.
So just a couple of closing remarks. This has been recorded. So the recording for those that were registered will be emailed out. And then upcoming events at the SBDC, the AngelCon 2021 recording, you can watch it for free. Any entrepreneurs out there, highly encourage you to do that. And then our next coffee and conversation is August 11th with the Swan Fund Investor Group. So we hope to see everyone there. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Have a fantastic day.
You too. Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.